Hey, good morning, everybody. I am thrilled to see you here. It's a beautiful day, a beautiful Friday, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the day. It should be a good time. So, why do you care? I'm Rita Hickman. I'm a body mind expert. I'm a shiatsu massage therapist, and I help women in narcissistic and toxic relationships. And the thing that we're talking about today is about letting go of the anger or rage or hurt or anxiety that we have from that women have when they have a narcissistic mother. There's nothing quite so difficult in someone's life as when they're raised in a narcissistic environment, in an environment where their emotions, their needs, their feelings, their ideas are just not valuable. They're not important. They are minimized. And what's encouraged is to be perfect, to be flexible, to never have any problems, to solve everybody else's problems, to be everything that you're supposed to be and nothing that you actually are. So, when you're raised in a household that has a lot of narcissism going on, you're going to end up with a lot of anger because as you get older, you realize that life didn't have to be that way and that other people really did have better experiences, that what you lived through or what you experienced wasn't all there was, and that life was a much bigger place. And that perhaps if you'd gotten a different start, your life would have looked differently. So it makes perfect sense that, when you've got a narcissistic parent, whether it's a mother or father, but it seems like having a mother who's a narcissist really ends up causing so much more damage. Possibly because fathers, it's acceptable that way. The majority of narcissists are men. And so it's kind of unexpected. People won't quite believe it, especially if a mother, and I've worked with so many women who, to everybody else, the mother was perfect and beautiful and amazing and smart and funny and curious. But at home, they were diminishing and belittling and angry and emotional and vicious and abusive and having so much more going on. They were like Jekyll and Hyde. So to live in that sort of environment, it really messes with your head. And when you start on that process of growth and healing, and I work with a lot of women where one woman in the family, one sibling will be like, oh no, there was no problems. And then the other sibling will be like, oh no, this was an incredibly abusive situation. I can't believe can't believe you can't see it. Well, the difference isn't necessarily just between the people. Sometimes that can be, one person can be much more sensitive and the other person is naturally more detached. Um, or perhaps it's that one person was the golden child, the one that everybody loved, the one that everybody petted and treated well, and you ended up being the one that didn't quite measure up to the golden son or the golden daughter or the golden whoever it may be, and that can cause a lot of rage and anger. When you start to do your healing work, that's the third way. One of that you really start to understand um, the differences. Where you say, "Oh, this did happen to me." When you start owning and acknowledging that the experience that you had really did cause trauma, really did cause pain, really did cause great difficulty in your life. When you start to recognize and own that, when you start to evolve into a bigger world, there can be a lot of latent anger that comes up that you've been pushing down because you thought, well, that's just the way that it is. Well, that's everybody has a hard time. Well, this is, there's nothing you can do about it. And you just have to accept it. You end up with a very practical, pragmatic attitude, which is good for survival. But when you realize that you didn't have to endure so much, you didn't have to tolerate so much, that's when that's when the rage or the anger will really start to surface, when you finally see kind of where you land in the spectrum of it all. So how do you get rid of that? How do you work with that? Well, there tends to be a lot of hurt and anger around things that we didn't get, that you possibly didn't get when you were a kid. It could be attention, it could be validation, it could be respect, it could be love, it could be being heard. It could be a little bit of slack. It could be all sorts of things that that you didn't get. And when we come from that place of recognizing the things that we needed, that we still need, that we didn't get, and we're still not getting from a parent, a mother or a father. As I said, the mother wound is significantly painful for many. Um, when you start to realize that, when you start to look at that you are missing experiences, you're missing things that you needed to grow. The healing part is when you decide to start getting that. When you recognize that you needed validation from women, that you needed love from women, that you needed affection and understanding, and you needed a mother figure, and you needed someone to hold your hand and guide you and mentor you. When you start to recognize all the things that you didn't get, that's your opportunity to start getting it in your life. Because at the end of the day, if we don't want to be in such conflict with a narcissist, we have to recognize we have to get our own needs met, because we're not going to get them met from someone incapable of meeting them. The issues that make someone into a narcissist, the issues that turn them into someone who is um, so unpredictable, so difficult, so painful to be in a relationship with, the reason they're that way is not because of something simple. It's not because of a digestive disorder, or because of a pain, or because they're PMSing. It has more than that. It's much more. And so if you look at a narcissist and think, well, if I just do this, or if I just do that, or if I'm just more perfect, then the problem will change. You're going to keep getting angrier and angrier and angrier. The real key is to start to get those experiences that you needed: connection, feminine energy, support, people listening to you, women older than you, women younger than you, women who are maternal, women who are childlike, women who are exactly where you're at. You start to recognize that you didn't get what you needed from your family. And so you need to get it. You need to find it now as an adult. Because if you keep going through life without getting your needs met, you're going to self destruct. But the turning point, the tipping point, is when you let go, when you realize you're not going to get it from the narcissist, from your mother or father or whomever. You're not going to get it from them. And you need to accept that. It's not because of you, it's because they're not capable of giving it. And when you embrace that and look at them with some compassion and say, wow, they've got quite a life going on, and they can't give me the mothering that I needed. When you recognize that, it gives you the permission and the opportunity to grow up, and by getting those needs met. We grow up by getting the needs that we need uh, taken care of. And you're not going to get it from your narcissistic mother. So you need to start looking for it from healthy, balanced, loving women who are capable of giving that love. Other compassionate, empathic, sensitive women who understand, who know where you're coming from. That's the real key. If you want to heal from that mother wound, which is so strong for so many women, you need to start getting your needs met. So if you're looking for that, let me know. We're gathering together at least 40 women into our narcissist recovery group. We're expanding it, and we want a wonderful foundation for 2020. We already have a great group there of women who are successful and smart and interesting. And we come together every week and other times during the week. We email each other and message each other and share things and share our lives. And we're creating a community of women who have the ability to look deeper. They aren't just recovering from narcissism. The thread that ties all of them together is that they are compassionate, empathic, loving, kind women who understand what it's like to be in a narcissistic relationship and to be hurt by that, and how painful and how big the struggle is, and what you need to do in order to move forward. That's who's in the group. Women who are just like you, ahead and behind and right in the same spot. And we come together and we support each other through this. We support each other through that healing process. And you don't have to do it alone anymore. You don't have to be by yourself anymore doing this, because there's a kind, loving, wonderful group of women who are ready to love and be loved in return, and understand exactly what you went through. Because most of the women in the group, the narcissist of origin was usually their mother. So it's wonderful. If you would like to be a part of something bigger than you, if you'd like to find a village or a community that really speaks to you and nurtures you through this process and gets you what you need, when you're ready to do that, let me know. We're keeping it super affordable for the year, or there's a monthly if you'd rather do a monthly, but we'd like people to hang out for the year. Um, Right now, we're taking the 6 months and turning it into a full year for the 2020. So if you sign up for 6 months, you're in for the year with all of that wonderfulness, the wonderful women, the wonderful caring, the connecting, the you end up not being as lonely. You end up not feeling as isolated, and you start to heal just because you're finally getting what you need. Okay? So send up a flare, put up a flag, send me a message, make a comment, something. And it may take me a little bit to get back to you because I'm the one who's getting back to you. Uh, it may take me a little bit, but I try to answer within about 24 hours and get you the link so that you can really make 2020 a healing year, a beautiful year, a year where you move forward in the person that you're supposed to be, which is whole and healthy and loving and open to love. Okay. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.